about beating loneliness and isolation. So the question today is this: how do we move out of isolation? How do we get out of it? That's what we're going to talk about for a few minutes today. So the first thing, and I think a really important thing, is you got to understand that Christ never meant for you to go it alone. Never meant for us to go it alone. I love the quote from Jimmy Buffett, singer. He said, "My head hurts, my feet stink, and I don't love Jesus." What he needed was a band of friends, a band of brothers. And so therefore, we need to see that in so many different ways, we're crying out for something more in life than just going it alone. I love the story about the guy in this church, and every time the church had a revival, and a revival, if you don't know, is meetings in a church where the purpose is to help the people that are in that church that already have a relationship with Jesus to get renewed and revitalized in their walk and their faith and their following of Jesus Christ. So people in the church knew during a revival that this guy, when the preacher said, "Come forward and give your life to the Lord and get moving again and surrender it all," this guy was going to walk forward every time. And so sure enough, the next revival, here he comes. And when he walked down the aisle, he'd say, "Fill me, Jesus, fill me, Jesus." And people, after a while, got tired of it. I mean, the next revival, here he comes. "Fill me, Jesus, fill me, Jesus." Finally, he comes down the next revival, and there he is. "Fill me, Jesus, fill me, Jesus." And a lady in the back of the congregation cupped her hands around her mouth and said, "Don't do it, Lord. He's got a leak." Well, friends, here's the point of all that. We all have leaks. We all have leaks in our lives, and we need somebody to walk with us. We need not walk alone. So you must see that he doesn't intend for us to walk alone, but also that God has an incredible plan for your life. And part of that plan is to become a whole man or woman, a whole person, not alone, but in relationship to a few other people that love him. You might want to read Psalm 139 sometime, but I'm just going to read one verse, Jeremiah chapter number 29, verse number 11, a very famous verse. "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good, not for disaster, to give you a future and to give you a hope." So the question then is, how do you realize that plan? And I think the way we realize it is we've got to have some close friends around us that want God's best not only for themselves, but they want the best for you. So what is that plan? And how do you find those friends? Well, we'll talk about that next time. You think about that.